I think we can all agree that what we really need is peace. And you know what Rotary is about?
Yes.
So this morning, I'm going to read a prayer. It's kind of an old prayer, famous prayer, but it's still very timely. Please join me. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console. No, not so much to be understood as to understand. Not so much to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in dying that we awake to eternal life. Amen. Amen. Please join me in the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Four-way test.
True.
Fair to all concerned. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
All right, Mike, well done. Thank you, thank you. All right, Steve, who's here?
Good morning, all. Looks like we've got 45 Gate City Rotarians here, and we have 3 guests, Mary Swantek and Keith Achu, guest of Lisa Simpson. Sally Milligan is with us as our upcoming member. And let's see, we also have Johnny Jones and Marty Thompson and Casey Thomas representing Renaissance. Welcome all.
All right, very good. Dale, I think I saw Dale here.
Yes.
Who got orders?
Hey Dale, next thing you know.
Okay, on November 11th, Howard Driggers will have a birthday. And on November 12th, Mary Haybrock will have a birthday. And we have 2 wedding anniversaries. On November 11th, Laura and Chip Dale will celebrate their 27th anniversary. And our honorary member, Lawrence Mann and Ann, will celebrate their 15th anniversary on the 16th of November.
Very good. All right, where's Mike Conrad? Mike, I want to apologize. I'm not going to be able to do the feud today. I'm not going to be able to play the family feud today. We've got a packed agenda today, and we've had enough feuding going on over the last few months. So we're not going to do the feud today. So, but what we are going to do is in recognition of Veterans Day tomorrow. I want to expand this segment a little bit over what we've done the past few years. If you have served in the armed forces, would you please at least at first stand? If you have served in the armed forces, please stand. All right. Now, like I said, I want to expand this a little bit. If you guys will come up and just state your years of service and what branch you were in, I would really appreciate it. I'll go ahead and start 1990 through 93, United States Army.
88 to 94, Marine Corps.
Come on up, Sean.
06 to 12, U.S. Army.
Yes, sir.
1985 to 1989, U.S. Navy.
1966 to 1971, Captain U.S. Army.
72 to 75, Army.
02 to 2012, United States Army.
All right, very good. Let's give these guys a hand. In interest, you guys got seated too fast. In interest of goodwill, everybody just stand up and either give each other a hug or shake your hand. Shake each other's hand. Outstanding, Gates City. Absolutely outstanding. Good job. All right, moving on with the announcements. Walt, did we do a football pool?
We did a football pool. I'm not sure who else here. I know that Tom is here. Tom, 18 correct last week. That was fantastic. You went down to 9 this week.
That's my comfort zone.
Which means you're not deserving of the big dud. You get the small. Wait, that's a major dud. Here you go, buddy. That's Halloween leftover duds. Honorable mention this week, Rob. Is Rob here this week? Has anybody seen Rob? Rob, you got 15 correct. That was pretty good. Wow. Robert Gray, Sean Roberts, and Mike Allen all tied with 17 correct. Were you guys here? Sean's here. There you go. Sean's here. Okie doke. And Robert didn't make it. Okie doke. That's all right. Robert picked. They all picked Dallas in the tiebreaker, so they're all still tied. But Robert had 35 as the total. The actual total was 45. Dallas won the game. They're 7-1 now. Following it with a couple of rookies leading the team. Anyway, not to get started on Cowboys. Not that I'm a Cowboys fan or anything like that, but at any rate, the actual point total was 45. Sean and Mike both said 42. So we have an actual virtual tie for the first time ever. Wow. So we have 2 prizes. Both of them donated by Buster Lewis Logistics. Toolkits. Really cool stuff. Very manly prizes. So each of you get a toolkit. And you guys are, we're going to have a wrestling match. See who gets the pick first. Actually, I think, Sean, are you a first-time winner?
I've won a couple. This season is my first time.
This season, first time. Mike, have you won this season? No. Another time. Okay, well, you get to pick first then and give the other one a shot, okay?
All right. Very good. Thank you. I believe your football pools are on the table if you want to participate in next week. All right, Chrissy, you want to give us one of our last updates on Foundation Dinner?
Sure. So we have 16 registered for the banquet, which is on the 17th. Today is the last day that I will take any registration requests. So I can stay after the meeting a little bit. You can grab me if you are still interested in signing up. I will be happy to get that done for you. Or you can email me by the end of the day. But after today, I can't sign you up. There's a deadline. So we are ready. It's on 17th. I think it's like a week away.
Yep, next week. Excellent work. Good job on that. All right, so Guy, Christmas party. I know the sign-ups went out for that.
Yeah, I sent up. There's 2 Christmas parties, right? We have a Christmas party at the Henry on the 15th, and then we have one at my house on the 8th. That's an evening party. That sign-up went out. Other sign-up will go out next week. I didn't want to confuse things too much, so please, if you're going to go, please sign up as quick as possible for planning purposes. Nobody's helping me on this, so if I can notify the caterer sooner, that's one more thing I can check off and be done. So let me know as soon as possible.
All right, very good.
The party at Henry, are you talking about the breakfast?
That's Santa breakfast. Yeah.
Okay, Santa breakfast.
Yeah. Santa breakfast on the 15th.
They're both our meetings. Those are both the meetings.
That's right.
So the one at my house, there's no meeting that week. The one at Henry, that's our meeting, but we traditionally bring guests.
That's right, 12:15 for the Santa breakfast, 12:08, that's the, we won't have a meeting that week, and we'll be at Guy's house for the Christmas party. So make sure you get signed up for both. The main thing with the Santa breakfast is we want to know how many guests to expect, so that Henry's prepared. So definitely when those go out, sign up. All right, bell ringing. So close of the meeting today, guys, that's your deadline. If the club wins the bet, I will do my segment dressed as Buddy the Elf. I did the audit this morning. I'm at December 21st. It looks like 6 to 8 has no one signed up. And December 22nd, it looks like 12 to 2, nobody signed up.
All right, I'll take 21st. That's one of them.
All right, so raise your hand if you have signed up for bell ringing. Raise your hand. Okay. So if you have not signed up, you might want to get one of these spots. And I have my laptop here, ready for it. You got 2 spots to fill, and the ones you want to fill up, make sure you get the ones that say no. So there's that one or that one right there.
Just for clarity, you're dressing up in the Buddy Elf suit, and you're also coming to a club meeting that way.
No, that's if you fill up all the spots.
That's
Now
what
they're
we're
set,
doing.
yeah.
Well,
Well, then,
aren't we too shy of that?
no, you're not too shy of that. There's multiple spots that have slots full. All the time slots will be filled if we get 2 more. But there's some that don't have those. So get it going. Hey, get it going. I've got the laptop. Sign it up. Hey, we've got a laptop here. Get it signed. Get it done. Get it done.
Yeah, here.
The sign-up's going around. You guys can sign up. You'll see which slots need to be full. I think there was a 21st and maybe a 22nd that had no one signed up. All right, so Rob, you had one quick announcement.
Yeah. Quick announcement. Some of you don't know that some of us are growing beards to raise money for Esquire down in Haiti. So I'm actually one of those guys. I'm not sure if you knew that. But I've got a little bit of a quirk here. I've got a $250 pledge to shave my beard, and then my wife is going to match that. So I got $500 to shave. So, you know, if you think I should grow it, you know, money talks. We're doing this voting. This is just a provisional vote here, little early voting. But December 1st is the final. I want the other guys who are shamefully not promoting themselves. Foster, stand up. Graves, come on, guys. Guy. Everybody who's growing, for these are face farmers for Free the Kids. Okay? Oh, wait a minute.
Oh my God. You got competition.
I got some competition. If you haven't cast a vote for the progress, feel free to hear. I'll share it with my fellow face farmers and Shave or Grow, and we'll take checks to Gate City Rotary Foundation as well. That's all going to the greater cause.
Just to clarify, how long do I keep this?
December 1st, and if you shave, any of you face farmers.
My wife already said I'll give you $100 to shave it tomorrow.
Okay. I had someone offer to pay me $500 to take it off Tuesday night. So I said, no deal. No more.
All right, Buster, can we do some happy dollars?
All right. Are we happy? Come on, are we happy? Yeah.
Chip first.
$2.
$2, all right.
So I went to Guatemala with Max, and it was great. We made it, and we put in 212 stoves in the first week. Was Farlow here? Is there last week? He was here last week. Okay, and he followed us the next week. He got the easy week. They had like 10 more stoves. Huh? I don't know how many total they got, but they were. I mean, it was great. It was so much. And Kelly, and where's Kelly? I mean, you know, and he's gotten it down to science now. It's really cool. We were at 7,000 feet, which is good because last year it was 400 degrees and raining, and this year it was perfect. Awesome. It was great. We'll tell you more. We'll do a presentation.
Wow.
Talking about having it down,
Oh, man.
when Kelly and I went,
Yeah.
we did 50, and
Yeah.
I was exhausted.
And 17 of our people were
Yeah.
college girls.
That's great. 3 happy dollars. Erica, Steve, and Ned came out and helped me for the oyster roast that I provided for the winner of the fundraiser last year, raffle ticket. And I promise you, he will be buying another ticket. They had a blast, and we were in and out of there in about less than 2 hours. Shot 350 oysters, fed a lot of people, so thanks guys for coming out Friday.
I have one, and this has to do with voting, but I called up my buddy, I sent my buddy Robbie Hassel. Is he here today? I sent Robbie an email, and I said, Robbie, could you, all these judge races, I said, can you just kind of give me some insight into judge races? And I expected, a list of names, and I got this long, like multiple paragraphs about each person, never recommending one. This is my friend, and this is a wonderful person, and he did this, and I'm going, okay, Ron, I love it. I really appreciate it. So it was very helpful. So anyway, no one?
Whoa.
Oh, we got one.
My two happy dollars are for my two guests this morning. Keith Askew, might want to just stand up, and Mary Swancat. Introduce yourself.
I'm Keith Askew. My company is Carolina Fiber. We're a paper, plastic, and aluminum recycling company here in Greensboro. Nice to meet you.
Good morning, I'm Mary Swantek. I work at UNCG. I'm a fundraiser.
Fast track.
Give her a red badge.
We watch 2 TV shows in our house. We watch 60 Minutes and we watch CBS Sunday Morning. And this week we get to return to the commercials that I'm so comfortable with for Depends and Viagra.
This was also political, and I asked Robbie Hassel the same question. I don't know if I came in before you or after, but I did get the recommendation.
All right. Well, Grandpappy, he said, whenever somebody hears somebody say, I just love the way books smell. He said, I always want to just pull them aside and say, you do understand how reading works, right?
Well done, well done. All right, so Jim, are you introducing our guest today?
I will. Good morning.
Morning,
Everybody, it's great to see a big crowd because we've got a good news story today. Some of you who are following me on Facebook saw that I was at the grand opening of the Renaissance Community Co-op on Saturday. Fantastic story of persistence and partnership and addressing a real urgent need in many areas of Greensboro, and that's food deserts. So without further delay, I would like to introduce Casey. She's going up first. Casey Marie to talk about Renaissance Co-op.
I'm the slide advancer. This is our president, John Jones, here. Hold on, I just didn't want you all to have to look at my screensaver.
All right, I'll film that.
There you go.
Hi.
Good morning.
So how many of you are familiar with what a cooperative is? Oh wow, many of you. Okay, so for those who aren't, a co-op is a business that is owned by the people who use it. And in this case, the Renaissance Community Co-op is a consumer-owned co-op. And it's built to serve the needs of the people who will shop there and who previously did not have a grocery store in their neighborhood for 18 years to be able to shop. And it's going to be democratically owned. One of the core tenets of a co-op is that you have one person, one vote. And so people get to decide how this economic engine that they own with their neighbors will contribute to their community, what to do with the profits. And we're also solving the issue of access to healthy foods and at affordable prices. Most people think co-op, you think Deep Roots downtown, right? And that co-op, I love it. It is there to suit a different group of consumers and help serve their needs for specialty and organic foods. But this co-op is built for affordable pricing. and would be priced more like a food product. Next slide. So the history of Northeast Greensboro was that a long time ago, it was a predominantly working class white community. It became a predominantly African American community, and it also has low resources. When a lot of people moved out, a lot of money moved in, and it has been largely left out of city development plans. And you also have a large public housing population there, and Claremont Homes is currently in Northeast. So in 1998, Winn-Dixie left, and the area became a food desert. How many of you are familiar with what a food desert is? What a well-informed crowd. And so a food desert is an area where it's hard to access food. We'll talk about the specifics a little later. But residents didn't just take this sitting down. They organized for closing a landfill that would be there. And they called on city government to bring a full-service grocery store to the neighborhood. And they've been trying to get a grocery store for a while. But Winn-Dixie left because you had a nationwide consolidation of the grocery industry. They pulled out of large parts of the South in general. And they're chasing profits for stockholders. And that's because with publicly traded companies, they have a responsibility to their investors, their owners. Well, as a co-op, we also have a responsibility to our owners. And because people who are investing in the co-op aren't necessarily doing so to make individual profit, they're doing so to build a grocery store in the neighborhood that people can use, you're not necessarily going to get people voting to move the co-op somewhere more profitable. It's a different purpose. And so that's why the cooperative model allows us to solve the food deficit. And so you have the issue of the food desert, and you can see that this area is disproportionately affected, the South in general. And it's specifically an area where over 1/3 of the population lives at or below the poverty line, and where people can't access enough food for a healthy and active life. And in Greensboro, a lack of transportation plays a big role. And you all should know that the way that USDA maps out the food deserts, the Renaissance Community Co-op has actually knocked out 2 food deserts in Guilford County. We previously had 17. So keep that in mind. And food deserts create real issues for people's health. You have increased risk for hypertension, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and in Guilford County, about the vast majority of deaths are from diseases that are preventable with a healthy diet. And so that's over 2/3. And these deaths are disproportionately located at the east side. So when people can access when only the food that is available in the neighborhood, which is largely at convenience stores, they need stuff that fits in the budget, and that's there. If you can't get to it, you can't buy it, no matter how healthy it is. And so that was the kind of food that was there. And it's really taking a toll on the neighborhood health-wise. You have increased pain, stress, medical expenses, decreased capacity to work. Food deserts also lead to higher underemployment due to those issues. Strain on personal relationships can be due to chronic disease, and also just more time spent managing chronic disease. It can be time suck. But people didn't take this laying down. It's what do we do about this? And in Northeast Greensboro, the community came together to address an issue that was impacting them directly, the reopening of the White Street landfill. And the city council tried to reopen it, and the community organized to stop it. And in that process, they built a lot of connections with one another. They'd experienced a collective victory, and they built authentic political power in the neighborhood. And after that, FDC, Fund for Democratic Communities, where Marnie leads, decided, why don't we float the idea of helping this neighborhood build a co-op? And so they took a bunch of our residents to visit Company Shops Market in Burlington, and people were able to see what a co-op looked like. People were energized, but again, not everyone was convinced, because people tend to associate co-ops with high-priced organic and natural foods. But a co-op really is about that community-owned business model. And so currently in a community that has a lot of limited means, we have over 1,012 co-op owners who have invested $100 for their share of the co-op. And so think about it, $100 might not be a lot. To a lot of people, this is a big investment. So the community is deeply invested in this co-op. And this is what it looked like before. 18 years of this. You see, it's not just the lack of a grocery store, but economic development in general, because the grocery store was the anchor there. So all those other businesses dried up. And this was 18 years, so theoretically there are kids who were born in that neighborhood who could vote this election, who their entire life did not have a grocery store access to fresh, healthy, affordable foods in their neighborhoods. That is a long time. And so the community had a very clear vision of what they needed. They had access to fresh and healthy, affordable food. They wanted good paying and dignified jobs. We're committed to not fighting poverty with poverty, and building community-owned wealth. And that's because the profits are profits that we will be able to invest back into the community. Now, can anyone guess what this number is? Okay. This is the amount of money that people in Northeast, within a 2-mile radius of the store, spend on groceries every week. So there's this perception that because people are low income, they don't have access to groceries in the area, they're buying food. I mean, if they're walking around, you can presume that they're eating, right? And so you have a lot of people spending money outside of the neighborhood, and they have to, and taking buses. How many of you have recently ridden a city bus? Nobody? Okay. Well, you have a 4-bag limit on the amount of things that you can take. And Greensboro's bus system is a hub and spoke system. So you have to go from where you live, downtown, back out to the grocery store, back to the hub, and then back out to your home. And so that can be, during the week, about a 2-hour trip, on the weekend even longer, and it's 4 bags. The store will keep these profits in the community, and also help us reinvest, but also make it easier for people to shop. Good. So with our store, we're going to have a big financial impact on the community, with starting wages at $10 an hour, creating about 28 jobs. $2 million in salaries will be returned to the community in 3 years. $16 million in salaries and benefits will be returned to the community in about 20 years. And $1.6 million in profit will be reinvested into the community in 20 years. And that's a lot. We can do a lot with that amount of profit in the community. And where's the money coming from? This is the question. Cooperative ownerships, we have about 1,000, we have a little over 1,000 of that, but we'd like to ask you to consider becoming an owner in our co-op today, because you'd be able to help us further build equity. And the faster we build equity, the faster we can reinvest those profits in the community. 250,000 loans from community members, and Marnie will talk with you a little bit about that later. We have generously been given 90 grand from churches and 34,000 from grassroots fundraising. We also received 336,000 in foundation grants and $250,000 in a challenge grant from the city. So the city has decided that this is going to bring enough economic investment and development in the neighborhood that it is worth investing public funds to help Northeast Greensboro grow. And it will also have $590,000 of it came from leasehold improvement allowances from Self-Help. And Self-Help is the organization that owns the shopping center, and so they've upfitted that for us, taking out that cost. $480,000 in financing from Shared Capital, which invests in cooperatives, and $400,000 in financing from Regenerative Finance and the Working World, which also invest in co-ops. And those are very patient loans. Some of them are loans that you pay back once you reach profitability, and only at a certain percent, because they're there to help co-ops get started, and they want to see you succeed. So debt versus equity, we have $983,000 in debt, and then we have an equity of about $1.5 million. And this is what we're trying to reach. We're very close to being able to reach that. And we're already open, so sales are starting to help produce that. And the RCC is important because it'll be a vehicle for participatory and democratic, community-driven economic development. Often when we see economic development, it's the vision of one or a couple people who wanted to advance their own vision in a neighborhood. But this will be something that the entire community can say, we had a voice in how the economy in our area was shaped. And you can see this handsome gentleman in the audience. These are our meetings. This is how our democracy works. Continue. This was at our first election, owner election here. And we get input from people. It's not just voting. We decided on the colors of the grocery stores through having a community meeting and people voting. We decided on our priorities this way as well. So we really do try to engage people. This is what the store looked like through construction. And this is the outside today. And this is the store up and running. I hope that many of you will go out east and visit the store. It's beautiful, as you can see. And then we hope that you will also invest. And Marty will talk with you a little bit about that now.
Actually, I think, Jay, if you want to talk about ownerships first, that would be better.
I missed one quick question. How many people work in that store just generally?
30, actually.
30. Not
Cool,
20.
thank
Okay.
I was hoping I would get by today.
And thank you all for the invitation. We really appreciate it. I have to excuse my voice. I'm coming down with the cold. I'm not running as fast as I used to, and it caught up with me. We would like to invite you to become an owner in our Renaissance Community Co-op. It's $100. If you don't have it today, fill out the application and give me 10. And when you come to the store to shop, you can pay as you go. But we are trying our best to eliminate the situation that we have. I've been in that neighborhood for 30-some years. I was there when Winn-Dixie closed. And I was fortunate enough to have a vehicle that I could drive to a grocery store. But a lot of my neighbors didn't. Some are elderly. And as Casey said, you take a bus, it's a 2 to 3 hour trip. You get a cab, I don't even want to tell you, that takes away from the groceries that you were going to buy, because you got to pay to get there, then pay to get back. So it's a losing situation. So we got together after we fought the city. We eliminated the people that was on the council, and not only us, but the entire city got involved in this. The entire city. They came to our rescue, as we are asking you to come to our rescue and become owners of the Renaissance Community Co-op. I have applications here with me. I'll be glad to pass them out, or come by and see me and pick it up. Now, we need the help of the entire city to complete this project. Once we get the project completed, we use our funds to reinvest back in not only our neighborhood, but other neighborhoods that might want to do the same thing. Now, you saw a $250,000 challenge grant from the city. The challenge was the county. This is a health problem that we are addressing. They denied us and said no. But we did not stop. No is not in our DNA, because we have been told no so many times that we have developed that when you say no, all it is an opportunity for us to do more. So that's what we are doing. But we are still here. We haven't gone anywhere. And if that figure, that $1.3 million that they spend each week in groceries, for us to be sustainable, all we need is 5% of that. And you're $100. Thank you.
As Casey showed, the financing for the grocery store comes to just over $2.5 million, and about $1.5 million of that is equity, which came in the form of grants and shares of ownership and preferred shares and grassroots fundraising, things like that. And then another almost $1 million in debt. The owner loan program is a form of debt, but it's a special form of debt that is easier on the co-op than borrowing money from the banks. And so we have the goal of selling $200,000 in owner loans. And we prefer owner loans to some of the other debt that we are able to access because it's more patient and it's generally at lower interest rates. So if you happen to become a member, then you become eligible under North Carolina state law to possibly make a loan as an owner to the co-op. The minimum loan size is $500, but we'll take anything $500 on up. We have sold 25 owner loans totaling $127,000 to date. So we're looking for $73,000 more in owner loans to fill that quota in our financing plan. If you're I have these general sheets here explaining the owner loan program, and they have my contact information on the back side, and I'm the person that you would get more information from if you're at all interested in getting an owner loan. So if we could pass those out, that would be great. Owner loans are governed by North Carolina and the state securities regulations as well as federal securities regulations. So if you're interested, I'm going to give you a big fat offering document, which we are required to give you to explain all the opportunity as well as highlighting all the risks. And if you read the offering document and you still want to make an owner loan after that, I hope you would be, then the next step is that you would sign a subscription agreement telling us the amount that you'd like to loan, and asking for a particular interest rate from the table of possible interest rates that are available. Many of our owner lenders are lending their money at 0% interest because they're so interested in the project. Others are choosing slightly higher interest rates. One shouldn't make this loan as a way to become more financially secure. You're making this loan because you believe in this project. I believe these are good, that the grocery store's got a great start, and it has an excellent chance of being able to meet all of its debt obligations, including owner loans, but these are subordinated to all the other debt that is out there. So I think if you have some money laying around that's not earning but, I don't know, 0.01% interest, which is the case for many of us right now, consider investing it in the RCC. Thanks.
I just want to, I'm an owner. I signed up for that. Many of you saw I brought Lamar last week, and he introduced me to the RCC. I see this as an investment in the community. What you didn't mention, I think you get 10, you shop there, you get 10% off as an owner.
If you shop at the
That's
store
something
as an owner, you get 5% off certain already discounted items. You get 10% off items that you bulk order. And then you also get 5% off every month on Owner Appreciation Day.
The other thing I wanted to mention is that you really have to go out and see this place. It's a beautiful, Mayor Nancy Vaughn said you could pick up this whole shopping center and put it anywhere in Greensboro and it would fit right in. You got the McGirt Library there.
Where is it?
It's
No address?
on Phillips Avenue, which is off East Wendover.
Still looks like it's on
Yes. Yeah.
2517 Phillips Avenue.
But they got the McGirt Library there, which is a beautiful new library. The Family Dollar, which never left. Got the community co-op. Greensboro Municipal Credit Union is going in there next June, I was told, on Saturday. And they're even setting up a health clinic and a pharmacy in that same strip mall. And it is really beautiful. Just take a drive out and take a look and go in and do some shopping. You'll be impressed.
You guys have a couple minutes for questions?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Any questions?
Yeah, you said that you need like 5% of that to revenue. I mean, how long have you been open and what is your revenue?
We opened October the 14th on the soft opening.
Yes, sir.
To train our personnel.
Right.
We had our grand opening on the 5th of this month.
So you don't really, you don't have a track record to.
No, we are flying by the seat of our pants.
Right, nothing wrong with that.
But the thing of it is, we are flying.
I actually have some data I can tell you. I mean, it's too early to really tell, but things are looking really great. Our goal is to average $10,000 a day in sales across the whole first 12 months of operation. On Saturday, we hit $8,500. So we're stunned that that's the level that we're at.
Yes.
Well, I remember the Winn-Dixie. I have friends that live in Claremont Homes. I grew up in Morningside.
Okay.
I am just thrilled to know that this is there, and I want to be a member. So I need an application. Thank you.
I'm going to become a member of somebody. I'm going to challenge someone else in the club to become a member.
I'll do it, member.
There you go, I'm doing it.
I got $100 right here.
I got 80. Give me a 20.
I'll give you 20.
Give me ownership this. I'll take care of it. Give me 20.
All right. There you go.
Here's 100.
We'll fill that out, put it right there with it. And when I come back, I'll pick up that.
All right.
Okay?
Who's got the pen? Who's
I wanna
got the
ask-
table pen?
I probably have another.
What has this done for the community to have this revitalized shopping center now?
Nice to have a store.
Yes.
I have one.
People are so excited about this store. At our grand opening, we had people get up and speak about what the store means to them. And the constant theme that people expressed was that people's children and grandchildren will be able to see
Yes. No,
that the community was able to come together and open its own grocery store and solve its own problem. Of course, with help from across the city and across the country, but it was able to leverage that in a way that helps the community grow and the focus on future generations. And there was something very poignant that Ed Whitfield from Fund for Democratic Communities said when he said that when we embark on projects like this, we need to keep three groups of people in mind. People who came before us, people who would have liked to be here but could not for various reasons, and people who will come before us, who will come after us. And that we need to keep our promises to them to do the best we can for our communities.
I want to have you look at this picture one more time, because over the last 5 years, 1,012 people ponied up $100, and almost all of that time, this is what it looked like. Think about what that means. That we were told by experts in food co-ops that this community was, frankly, too black, too poor, and too uneducated to pool its money and stick together to build something great. And they were wrong. It was every month at the RCC community meeting, 50 to 100 people would come in the room, some of them carrying $5 in cash in an envelope to make one more payment on their owner's share of $100. And this is what it looked like for those 5 years. So think about the sense of connection to the future generations that was operating in the community while this went on.
We have another owner over there.
All right, guys, so I think I can speak for everybody. Great work, great job. Let's give them a hand, guys. announcement before we draw for the raffle. Looks like 12:22 from lunchtime, 12 o'clock to 2 p.m. Has nobody in that slot? Do we have a taker?
What day is it?
12:22.
I'll take it.
12:22. All right.
That's after you're already gonna be there from 10 to.
Am I gonna be there for 4 hours straight?
No, it's 2 hours. 12.
But he's there from 10 to 12 on that.
Oh, you're already there?
You're gonna be there for 4 hours.
Chris, this is lifetime. You don't have to renew this. This is lifetime. And you will receive a letter of thanks and your store number when we process the application. Okay? Now, when you come in the store, we are hoping that you see a clean, refreshed, robust store every time you visit. And if you don't see that, let me know.
Get the broom and clean it up.
Right, because you're older.
All right, guys, Jonathan Smith, let me know. This group is on Twitter, so look them up, and I guess you guys send announcements out through your Twitter account also, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
We have one more duty for you. If you guys can draw the winning raffle ticket, and in addition to that, we're going to donate a book in your group's name to Boone Elementary.
Okay.
We take a pile of books over there a couple times a year, and that's how we honor our guests.
Thank you. Great. The ticket is 9A